Why is it that people with half of your potential are making bigger moves than you? Why is it that certain people that you, for example, grew up with, went to school with, the people that had literally nothing, they were nothing compared to you, why are they more successful than you now? What makes them so different? I'm gonna tell you. It's the fact that they fucking had the audacity to show up. That they had this inner drive, this inner passion to decide in the moment for themselves and be like, I'm done. I do not want to continue living my life the same exact way as I have been the last 15, 10 years, 5 years, 3 months, who cares? It is up to you to also decide whether or not you want to continue showing up in the same exact boring kind of way, or you want to try a different approach. You want to try to actually show up as something so much more than what you are right now. Even if you say that you're doing the inner work, that you're working on your confidence, that you're trying to be better and you're working on your mindset, you're reading these like self-development books, whatever, what are you actually doing for your limiting beliefs? Because it's not enough to be using these affirmations and telling yourself 50 times a day, I'm a millionaire, or shit like that, because that's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere if you have this resistance within you. Before you end up creating this life that you truly deserve, before you end up manifesting and creating this most abundant, beautiful life, you need to realize for yourself, what are you willing to let go of in the first place? A lot of people love being stuck in their poor old ways. There is nothing more comfortable than being able to predict your future. They wake up and they know that they have to go get dressed at this time, have breakfast at that time, be home by this time, get to work on that time, whatever. It is not comfortable when you are not in control of your reality in any kind of way. Are you ready to let go of this discomfort though, in order to reach for something much higher? The life that you want to be living, this extraordinary, abundant life that you see all of these influencers having, and the picture that they create, at least, it exists outside of this comfortable life that you're living in right now. Only when you force yourself to be uncomfortable, only when you put yourself in a position of constant discomfort, does real growth happen. Growth is not going to be happening when everything else around you stays exactly the same. If you know what is going to happen tomorrow, you're living in a very predictable life, you end up living like a robot. You wake up at this time, you do this then, you do that then. You know what your outcome is going to be. When you make the choice to aim for something higher, you don't know what the result is going to be. You don't know if you're going to succeed at it. And that is when a lot of people give up. Is that they lose hope, is that they don't believe in themselves so much. They don't believe that they're going to actually achieve it because, well, it's scary. It is scary to fail. And this fear is going to be stopping 90% of people because they are not afraid of change. They're actually afraid that what if it doesn't work out? What if all of my effort, what if all of my work goes to waste? The people that actually create extraordinary, massive change in their life, they don't settle. They don't settle for the ordinary. They don't settle for the same exact way of living. They go after the fucking crazy things because something in them tells them that, you know what? I'm gonna test myself. They tell themselves, they ask themselves, what the fuck am I capable of? What am I actually capable of? Is your limit sitting in the office, working for someone else, making another person rich? Or are you going to test your limits and see, what if I actually use my skills, use my knowledge, use my passions, and create a business around it? What are you going to choose? The second option, though, where you choose yourself, requires you to have the fucking audacity to show up, to wake up in the morning, and get to work. It requires you to let go of every other person's belief in your life and be so focused on yourself that nothing else matters. Your subconscious mind, obviously in the moment, is going to be freaking out. Your subconscious mind is going to be like, what is all this change? I can't handle it. It's too much for me. It's exactly when you begin working on reprogramming all of your beliefs about yourself. This is when you end up completely rewriting your entire history, your entire belief system. You just delete that stuff and you move on. You create something new. Instead of waking up and complaining that you're For example, living paycheck to paycheck and you're struggling and waiting for the next opportunity to come in. And then as soon as an opportunity comes in, you're like, oh, I don't deserve it. What did I do? I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough for this. I can't accept it. I can't have it. And you move on. This kind of reaction only ends up happening when your subconscious mind does not agree with the things that are taking you to the next level. Because you know that getting a promotion, getting a new client, getting a new job, getting something that is like a bit outside of your comfort zone, you logically know that it's going to elevate your life. Yet you don't go after it because you're scared of the what if. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I end up having to pay more taxes? What if, whatever happens? All of these what ifs are because your subconscious mind was programmed to believe, to think a specific kind of way. Your subconscious mind was programmed to think in a very linear kind of way. It's like it was programmed time and time again to resort to the same exact feelings, the same exact thoughts. Something bad happens or something unpredictable happens, your brain immediately goes into this overwhelmed way of thinking where you're freaking out, you don't know what to do with yourself. You end up feeling satisfied to a certain extent because any kind of fear response is actually just satisfying you. It's always something about a pleasure response at the same time. You end up feeling this sense of pleasure, this sense of satisfaction from having a negative reaction, and then nothing ever changes. Everything stays exactly the same because that's what we're comfortable with. If you choose to have this overwhelming reaction time and time and time again, your brain is going to get used to it. It's going to be a part of your life, and you're not going to be able to get out of this loop until you choose to do the uncomfortable thing, until you choose to have the fucking audacity to rise above it. It's more important for you to realize for yourself in the moment, who are you serving? Are you serving your limiting beliefs, which run on autopilot in your head? Or are you going to be serving this, for the time being, imaginary higher self version of you? This version of you that is completely a different person, that is so much more abundant, so much more empowered, so much more comfortable, confident, and just ready to make decisions and transform their life. That version of you exists somewhere. But if you can think and imagine this version of you, if you can think and imagine that there's a version of you that exists out there, that lives in a villa, that travels whenever it wants, that, lives to the fullest potential, working for passion, that work isn't even work. If you can imagine these things and visualize them, then who says you can't create them? Who told you that you can't create this version? No one. No one told you. It's your brain. It's your brain telling you like, oh no, I'm not good enough. Or, oh no, but I don't have enough skills. Or stuff like that. But that is just really simple, shitty excuses that you tell yourself to prevent you from doing the uncomfortable thing. So there we go. We're back in the same circle. It's always going to be this loop of you logically understanding that you want something. Maybe you deserve it. Maybe. But yet, as soon as the time comes to actually doing it, you freak the fuck out. You start panicking. And then you're back in your same comfortable little spot because nothing has to change. Nothing has to change. Change is scary. It's threatening. It means that life is gonna change. But I also want you to ask yourself, if your life changes, what's gonna happen? What's the best thing that could happen from you finally sitting down today to do the thing that is so fucking scary? What can happen? It is your choice to show up every day to be a little bit better. It is your choice to break the cycle. It is your choice to begin showing up as this higher self version of you. And you can do it every single day. It starts by you simply making a better decision. As soon as you end up doing something that is a little bit out of the ordinary, you need to remind yourself, why are you actually doing this and who is in control? Because your subconscious mind is always going to try take control over you. It's always going to try be the one that takes you back on the same comfortable route. But No growth happens when you're comfortable. No changes can happen when everything in your life is exactly the same. What are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to live your life in the same exact kind of way where nothing has to change? Everything is comfortable, yet you're not allowed to have dreams, not allowed to go after these dreams, not allowed to stand out. You're meant to be exactly like everyone else living a very boring, ordinary life. You have a second choice where you're going to create this imaginary version of you, this abundant, beautiful, elevated version of you that is so magnetic, that is so comfortable, that is so confident, that simply goes after their dreams and achieves them because they don't panic, they don't freak out. It's your choice which one you want to be. If you want to become the second one, then I'm here for you. I'm here to support you, I'm here to guide you. You can click in my description and read more about my offers. Choosing the second option, of course, logically seems nice. But how do you feel about it emotionally? Are you ready to do the inner work that it takes to actually create the changes? And if you are, then let's do it. Let's achieve it.